coworker came up to me and he said, Kirby Smart's not the man for the job. He says he's a great coach. This job is just too big for him right now. And I sat back and I was like, on one hand, if you put Kirby Smart in the Pac-12, I feel like he could dominate. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, put him on Georgia where he's at. And I'm like, he's dominating regular seasons, but he's not finishing the job. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great topic because you know how I feel about Kirby Smart deep down.
Look.
How I feel about Kirby Smart. I'm
gonna recite exactly what I said. I said, you can't tell me you can't put Kirby Smart on a Pac-12 team, a Big 12 team, or any of these Group of 5 teams, and he couldn't go in the regular season and go undefeated. I was like, you can't tell me he wouldn't. He's a good coach. He's a good recruiter. And I'm like, the only thing you can tell me about Kirby Smart is he cannot finish the job. That's the only thing that it's been proven. And that it's been shown is he cannot finish the job. He's a great coach. He's a great recruiter. Love the guy. I love Kirby Smart. I love that dude. He's done great things for Georgia. But he cannot finish the job.
I agree. Kirby has definitely put us on a pedestal. But there's a lot of problems with Kirby Smart that I see and I'm just not proud of. Like this game against Cincinnati, there's no reason the team should have came out and played that sluggish. I know we have opt-outs, but what's with all that good recruiting? We've had 2 number 1 classes in the last 3 years. You just cannot convince me Cincinnati should have been able to keep up with us. There's no reason we should have won that game by 133 points.
It really was honestly only 1 point. We got a safety on last play.
And I think the biggest problem with Kirby, the big problem, the one I hate, is his lack and ability to get Georgia a quarterback. It took him how long to get Georgia a quarterback that could throw deep balls as consistent as JT does. JT throws about 5 of those a game. We never had those.
Jacob Eason had a good arm. It's just obviously Jake Fromm beat him off for the job and then he transferred.
Right.
I'll give you that. And Justin Fields had a good arm. It was a coaching decision at that. He had the quarterback. He just coaching decisioned out of it. You know what I'm saying? He had the quarterback. It's just he didn't play him.
And I'm not going to say and pretend like he didn't recruit Justin Fields as well. But obviously we saw how that turned out. His ability to manage quarterbacks has been lackluster to say the least. And it's the most important position in football. Okay, look at all the teams that just made the playoffs. They all had great quarterbacks. I mean, maybe besides Notre Dame, but let's not be too controversial.
Ian Book played good. He ain't no NFL quarterback, but he didn't play good in the Clemson game, I guess you could say, but he played good during the season. He was he was on like the Heisman hopeful list thing. Like they would bring him up at the bottom.
Okay. All right.
He played decent.
Whatever. We got Brock coming. Hopefully he pans out. But like my thing is that the thing that kills me with Kirby Smart that I see from other teams is there's never a beat. When's the last time Bama has honestly, maybe last year, that last year is as bad as it gets for Bama. 2 losses, missed the playoffs. That's as bad as it gets from Bama. And how many times have they missed the playoffs since it started? Once, twice? Yeah. So it's like, that's the level of dominance I need Kirby to be on. And it's not even,
he has the potential. He has the potential to do that.
Georgia has the potential. Georgia has, like, this season was wasted. And I told you that. This season was wasted.
This season was gone once Jamie Newman opted out.
Because I said, what did I say? You said, we made the JT Daniels video, the one that got like a lot of hate. You said you didn't think JT Daniels could lead us to a championship. I disagreed with that. I said, I feel like he can. I said, the thing that's holding us back right now is Kirby Smart. In the last video, we talked about Georgia. I said, I feel like Kirby has been moving backwards since we made it to the championship. I like Kirby Smart, but it's the offense that we need to get going. Defense.
There was another point. There's another point that I brought up. I'll get to it after you finish.
Defense doesn't win championships anymore. And I feel like Kirby is just now starting to realize that. And this season, Georgia had potential to be champions. I don't think people are realizing that. Georgia was a quarterback away from being, I'm talking, more dominant than Florida.
We
probably would still lost to Bama, don't get me wrong. But
if our offense played like we played with Mississippi State and we'd possibly be 11-1 team.
South Carolina, like, dude, it's crazy. Because if JT Daniels was playing against Bama, we weren't losing that game.
No.
We just simply weren't losing that game.
If he was put in the situation at halftime, we weren't losing that game.
No. And my thing is when Stetson Bennett was stinking up the place and he dropped just 14 points against Kentucky, there's no reason Kirby sat down with Todd Monken and said, let's send him out there against Florida. And even then we got off to a 14-0 lead, but we didn't have the firepower to keep it going. And that, to me, that's when Kirby, I started to see, I'm like, will we actually win a championship with Kirby Smart?
This is my point.
And
you just brought up Todd Monken.
Right.
Todd Monken, I feel like he's been our best coaching hire with Kirby Smart.
It's been the best thing 100%. Kirby has done. Let me not say that he's done. It's been the best hire thing he's brought in. He's shown that he recruited Brock Vandagriff. He had man's committed in like 3 days. This man got hired and got pulled a 5-star quarterback in 3 days. This is
my point. That's my point, my coworker. I said, Kirby Smart can't finish the job. That's correct. And I'm saying, but look at his coordinator since then. There's always a key point in those coordinators. You have Jim Chaney, right? Terrible. We did not like Jim Chaney. Nick Chubb and Sonny Michel carried that man, right? Mm-hmm. But on the other side, you have Mel Tucker, who's a head coach now, right? Possibly one of the best defense coordinators Georgia's ever seen in a long, long time. Okay? Then you step Mel Tucker out and you put Dan Lanning in, right? Dan Lanning's a great defense coordinator. He's not what Mel Tucker was, but he's a great defense coordinator. And you put in James Coley, who was a tight ends quarterback coach who said he was going to get the tight ends involved more. He did not do that.
Didn't do that. Couldn't even get Jake Fromm involved. Come on, bro.
It was horrible. James Coley was horrible. So now we finally got this offensive coordinator in here. Dan Lanning's still a great defense coordinator. I don't think he's as good as he was last year, but he's still a great defense coordinator. Mm-hmm. They both come out. We play Stetson Bennett. Or we play Dwan Mathis. Dwan Mathis steps on the field. Me and you wanted Dwan Mathis to play. We said he's the best fit for offense without Jamie.
It felt like it was a new journey for the offense. It was a new wave.
He was another Jamie Newman. He was a scrambler. We felt like Georgia needed this guy that could, if he can't throw this ball, he can take off instead of throwing away or taking a sack. Jake Fromm, that man freshman year, he was breaking one tackle a run.
He was breaking tackles and ankles. Yeah.
Anyways, so they put Dwan Mathis out there. Everybody knows how that went. We put Stetson Bennett in, he starts cooking. The mailman. Everybody knows who the mailman is. He starts
because we went back to that traditional offense.
And then JT Daniels steps in. I feel like, be honest, I feel like Todd Monken got fully control of the offense when JT stepped in.
I knew Todd Monken, from week one, I knew Todd Monken was a threat. Like, you could just see his play call abilities from week one.
I'm saying, it was Kirby Smart's decision to start Stetson. He always said that it was all the coaches saying Stetson was the best quarterback. Todd Monken didn't feel that way. I know Todd Monken didn't feel that way. Come on, man. We seen how JT's played. It's
I know it brings that question. It's like, yo, but JT wasn't cleared. JT was cleared after Auburn.
JT was cleared week 2.
Yeah. So, and then that brought me back. I'm like, people are like, well, JT wasn't cleared to play. I'm like, dude, there's no reason. His first starting game should have been against Florida. You cannot let Stetson Bennett, a Florida team who was known at that point of the season to have a dominant offense.
Was cleared to play, it was like a week before the Natty? He was cleared to play the semifinal, wasn't he?
He was cleared to play. He barely played, but he was really on the field only for like a distraction. He did catch
he was
a couple
cleared
passes.
To play. If we're
which was
talking
bad,
Jalen Waddle,
clearly wasn't 100%.
Jalen Waddle steps on the field, medically cleared to play, right? Mm-hmm. And you're saying that he obviously wasn't 100%. It's the player's choice at that point, right? You can't sit here and tell me where JT's going out on social media saying I'm ready whenever they're ready. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like I'm ready to play football. He's medically cleared. He's like I'm ready to play. You can't tell me he's saying nah, not this week. Nah, not this week. Especially when we were getting our lead blown to Alabama. You can't tell me JT was sitting on the bench like nah, I'm good. My Twitter picture, isn't it us versus Florida? Him sitting on the bench looking like he's about to cry because Stetson's stinking up the place.
Yep. That was the exact moment our season was pretty much over.
I'm not ready to play. You can't tell me JT sitting there saying I'm not ready.
It was that point our season pretty much just ended. It was that point right there. And you could see when he when we finally started JT Daniels. He's going to wait until we get smacked by Florida. Come on, Kirby. I like Kirby.
It was.
Don't get me wrong. Recruiting.
Look, Kirby.
He don't miss.
Great recruiter. He's
Recruiter,
honestly he's a great
miss.
coach. He is a great coach.
He's a great coach as well.
I kind of agree with my coworker. This Georgia job, I think it's his first head coach job. It was too big. It's too big of a job. Because you can't tell me if we brought in a guy like Steve Sarkisian, if Todd Monken was our head coach, you think we could do better? Be honest with me. I don't.
I think we do.
I feel like the play calling's better, but I don't think
play calling would be
anything else
definitely our offense would be way better, but overall as a team probably not. I think Kirby's the guy for us. He hires an offensive coordinator.
That's just that proves my point. Is Kirby's a great coach, but I feel like this job was too big for him at the start. I mean, you say what you want to say. Y'all
second
flame
season,
me in the
man.
Comments.
Second season national championship. And I told you, I was like, yeah.
Dan Quinn situation.
Like in the last video we made about Georgia, I said, look, is Kirby moving this team backwards? I felt like I told you, I was like, look, I feel like this team's not moving in the right direction. Like we beat Cincinnati, and I know I'm like, hey man, look, let's take these next few days to celebrate, but then we got to just let reality sink in. Is this Georgia team?
We just celebrated beating Cincinnati.
We just celebrated beating Cincinnati by 3 points.
Honestly, look,
they're not even.
We
in the
didn't even beat them by
5.
3. We beat them by 1. We got a safety on last play. We beat them by 1 point.
We were celebrating beating a group of 5 team by 3 points. I don't care how good their defense is. That's just as a Georgia fan, I wanted to see some dominance in that team. And the only dominance I really saw was Jalen Carter, Azeez Ojulari. I don't even want to talk about our DBs next season. Because I'm like, a lot of people say, well, we got Kelly Ringo coming up. Dude.
We just lost our defensive back coach, didn't we?
Yes, but actually that's a good thing. That dude was not it. He got us a number 1 cornerback in the nation. He wasn't teaching them cornerbacks enough, dog. I don't know how Tyreek Stevenson managed to downgrade. I don't know how Tyson Campbell managed to not get better at football. I don't know. You got to think Eric Stokes was cooking before him. I don't know who our DB coach was before, but he was doing apparently good. Look at DeAndre Baker. This man, though, we brought him in. He just was not it, Chief. He was not it. It's great. Everybody's saying we might bring in Muschamp, however you say his name. Well, I'm like,
Will Muschamp?
Yeah, it's already rumored. It's rumored that we're supposed to be bringing him in.
If we bring him in, we gonna be eating. That's another head coach at a position. But hey, honestly, Kirby's a great
defense
coach.
Needs help.
It's more of even throwback to 2017.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and you were like, bro, Kirby's the guy. Mark Richt, we always said it. Mark Richt was a good coach. You could tell that he was getting up there in age, I guess you could say. He didn't yell at the players.
Mark Richt was never leading Georgia to the promised land. He never led them to the promised land.
He's a great recruiter, as you've seen in the 2017
He was a great recruiter. And it's crazy because it's like Kirby's even better. And obviously Kirby's a better coach. I'm just going to tell you that off the rip. Kirby's a better coach because he's made Georgia way more dominant than we used to be. Like I told you when we brought in Kirby Smart, I never expected this team to be as dominant as I never expected Georgia to make the playoff. But we made the playoff. We made the national championship.
You told me. You were like, someone told you where it was like, it's really good to feel like a Georgia fan right now where it's Sugar Bowl or bust, really. You know what I'm saying?
Where it's like playoffs or bust,
it's like we're making it to the Sugar Bowl at least.
Yep.
And that's true. I mean, with Mark Richt, we was making it to the Gator Bowl.
Exactly. What was that? What's that bowl called where we played Nebraska? It was a
the
Capital One. No, it was like the Capital One.
You thinking of when we played Louisville? That was Capital. That was the Belt Bowl.
I don't think it was the Gator Bowl, bro. I'm telling you, it was the Capital One something.
Outback Bowl?
I don't know. I know for sure we played in it like two years straight though because we kept losing the SEC championship.
It was probably
yes, it was the Outback Bowl. Yep, 2 years straight we played in that.
We made it to the Outback Bowl. We made it to the Gator Bowl. We made it to the Belt Bowl. All those were under Mark Richt, man. Or no, wait, one of them wasn't. Kirby took us to one. It was the Liberty Bowl, wasn't it? Against Penn State.
That was his first season. So it's like through the first 6 seasons.
We didn't play Saquon Barkley, bro.
For the first 6 years. The crazy thing is like we've only not played a New Year's Bowl once, and that was his first season. And you expect that because it's like first season he's really just trying to test everything out, get the feel of everything. But I'm just telling you right now, man. Second season we go to the Natty, and I feel like this Georgia team has gotten better. We have the offensive players we have right now. I'm not gonna say it's better than that 2017 team because that 2017 team was insane, and we still somehow managed to not be the most dominant offense in the nation. That's the crazy thing about it. Imagine if we had Todd Monken with that offense.
That the offense was going stupid, bro.
It's crazy.
The offense would have went stupid.
It's crazy.
Imagine if Isaiah McKenzie would have stayed one more year. Oh my goodness.
He's on the Bills. They trying to get to the Super Bowl. Them
He's
dogs
like,
in the NFL, man.
Good thing I'm out of the dog pound. Because I'm actually going to the playoffs now. Come on, man.
Dude.
Isaiah McKenzie, man.
Didn't the Bills like make the playoffs for the first time? Like, wasn't last season the first time they made the playoffs in like a decade or something? Or no, like this year was the first year they won the playoffs.
It was a couple years before that.
Yeah.
This is the first year they won it since like 1999. Yeah, 99.
Dude,
it was like
they
before
were
Josh
like last time
Allen
they won a
was
playoff
born.
game, Josh Allen wasn't even born. I'm like, Jesus, man, that's wild.
That's crazy.
That's the Tom Brady effect. Tom Brady.
Packers.
Tom Brady versus your Packers.
Go Pack, go. Come on now.
Tom Brady versus your Packers.
Look, you sent me that Lil Wayne thing, and I said last time he dropped a Green Bay anthem, we made it to the Super Bowl and won, man.
Yeah, y'all should win this.
And then you did the little like thing on Instagram, and it said the Packers was winning the Super Bowl, man. All the
Dude,
signs
that
are
was
pointing.
wild, man. I'm telling you.
I'm at work, man. I pick up a box. You know where it was from? You know who it was made by? It was like packaged by Green Bay Packing in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm like, bro, we winning the Super Bowl, man.
The signs
Can't
are
tell
there.
me we not. The signs are there. We winning the Super Bowl, man.
We had some
the dynasty.
This man upset what dynasty?
Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, let's see if Patrick Mahomes is playing. But that's for what tomorrow's video. So
Yeah,
we talked about Tennessee situation. Should colleges be able to play players? Texas and Steve Sarkisian. What's the status of Georgia, man? Let us know what you guys think in the comments. I know Texas fans are probably gonna be a little heated at what you were saying about their team, but
I told him. I said I ain't.
Georgia
I ain't
fans
no
as well.
disrespect.
I mean, we both kind of.
I
feel like
Georgia
when we dropped
agree.
when we dropped that JT Daniels video like a while back, and it got like a lot of hate. Well, you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like I feel like it was because people still had hope in Georgia, but I feel like at this point, at this moment right now, the hype has died. The hype is no longer as high anymore. Because I feel like that Cincinnati game, that was really just kind of like, do you see me laughing right now? Are you serious? Because like that game really, like before that game, I was like, wait, we should blow them out. And then we won by 3.
We wanted that game. We wanted to prove everyone wrong.
Yep. It was so bad at first. I just turned it off. I really didn't come back until we were winning. Actually, that's how bad it was.
I watched the rest of the game. I watched from like the third quarter on at work on my phone, seeing the game winning field goal. I was so hyped.
I was pumped. I'm like, hey, we got a kicker again. That's great.
3 hours later, I was like, I really just jumped in the air celebrating that we beat Cincinnati.
A group of 5 team.
It's not even that they're group of 5. Like, it's like no disrespect towards that. It's just more
no
like
disrespect,
it's Cincinnati, bro. Like
it's just not
this
team
is getting their recruits stolen by Ohio State.
Yeah, and it's like listen, my thing is when you're a Georgia fan, what you look at is, can this team beat Bama? And to be honest, I still don't know. I still don't have an answer for it. And until I have an answer for that, I just really won't be satisfied.